How's it going, guys? It's really funny. I plugged in my microphone, and it defaulted to audio level 0, which implies that no sound should be coming into the microphone, and it should pick up no sound at all. But there was still sound going through it. But obviously it wasn't loud enough for my standards, so I moved it back up to 7, which, ended up being wonderful. Okay, that is way too loud. Need to turn down my... There we go. Turn down my headset a little bit. Now that's working great. But yeah, this video has a very interesting title, and that's just because I got a triple-double. Nothing really too big. It was just my first triple-double ever in Reach, and I don't know. It was just a very, very good game on my part, and I don't know. It was just really good. But obviously, I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about something that has absolutely zero things to do with the game at all. I wanted to talk about an occurrence that I had at work today. That's generally where I get a lot of my commentary ideas from. I want to talk about wind and how, like, nobody fucking owned myself. No, but I mean, like, wind. It's a very interesting thing that we don't really factor in. But today, as you know, I'm a cart pusher for Walmart. I'm outside a lot. I notice a lot of things, and it's just the wind today was so bad. It got gusts of up to 75 miles per hour, and I was I'll be honest, I was exhausted after about an hour, and generally, I'm in fairly good shape. I walk for quite a long time outside. Like, generally, my work days are about 5 hours, and I'm probably outside walking for a good 4 hours and 15 minutes of that. So, if you can imagine, I do walk for quite a long time for quite a long distance. And for me to be tired after only an hour really made me think about things, and like, wow, is this really just the wind? And yeah, the wind definitely, like, especially high gusts like that, definitely affect the way your body reacts to things. Like, you could be in the best shape of your life, but if there's wind that's just like fucking you over and just blowing you back and forth, then, well, you don't know this, but your body auto-reacts to wind and different changes in the wind. And it does this just by shifting your body slightly in a different position to just, allow you to keep your balance a lot better. And we don't realize that this happens, but it could be just very, very subtle changes, such as just leaning slightly forward, or putting a little bit more weight on your feet or your legs, or leaning a little bit backwards if that's the case, or maybe standing up a little bit straighter. Just things that we don't realize it, but so many changes that go through our mind and through our body, like every time a gust of wind changes, and we never realize that this occurs unless we are very, very in tune with our body, which not many people are. And even not very strong winds, like, when it wasn't gusting, but it was gusting a lot. When it wasn't gusting, the wind was probably, I don't know, like 10 miles per hour, 10, 15, 20, I don't know. I can't really read wind that well. I'm not really a windologist. I don't even know if that's a word, but I made it up, so therefore it must be a word. So anyway, I don't know much about wind, but I don't know, it felt like 20-ish. But even like that, if there's like a constant amount of wind that's going in one single direction, your body makes a change to adjust yourself so you can better stand in that wind. Because if our body didn't make these adjustments, then we would just flop around all over the place, not doing anything. And we wonder, with a large man such as myself, well, not really large, but, well, actually, yeah, I am pretty big. I am 6'1", 215 pounds. I'm a fairly large person, and when you think about it, the wind hits me head on, and I am not very wind resistant, or not. I'm not very. Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not very streamlined, I guess you could say. Like, I mean, I'm not fat. I'm fairly average in terms of weight, but like, I mean, the fact of the matter is, I'm massive. Like, very, very tall. Well, I'm taller than average, and I'm about the average weight for my height, and it's fairly large. And when you think about it, when you have all of that mass that gets picked up by wind, your body better adjust, or else you'll just fall right over. And you won't be able to get anything accomplished, especially in the kind of job that I do. But the fact of the matter is, nobody focuses on it, and we always ask ourselves, well, why is it so much harder to bike in the wind? Like, it doesn't even matter if it's against or with the wind, because, well, definitely if you bike against the wind, the answer is obvious. It's just, well, herp-de-derp, the wind is blowing you backwards and you're trying to go forwards, and it's like trying to run against a wind tunnel. I mean, obviously it's going to take a lot more physical strength just to move forward, but you also have to factor in, what if it's blowing to the left or to the right? You have to use more. You have to adjust more, and once you adjust more, then you'll be able to do better. Like you notice this in driving as well. If you drive as big of a car as I do, I drive a Ford E150. People call it a rape van for very good reason. It definitely is not the most prettiest of sights to see, but it gets me from point A to point B. I'm not complaining, and I didn't have to pay jack shits for it, so got to be thankful for that. And when you drive something that large, it gets blown around by wind very easily, and you really have to focus on the road and where the wind is blowing, or else you'll get blown headlong off the road, and that is not a good thing. If you've been blown off the road before, you know how it is, blown into a ditch or something like that, especially if you drive in Tornado Town, USA, otherwise known as Oklahoma, then that's probably happened to several people up there, but thankfully I live in good old safe Minnesota, and tornadoes don't really happen that often up here. But we have our own problems, such as, thunderstorms for days, and we get snow that's like, up to our fucking cankles. Well, actually, well past our cankles. We have snow, up to our knees, thighs, body, things like that. But every state has its own problems, but I'm just focusing on wind at this point. But, yeah, even driving when the wind is like that is actually very physically demanding. And, well, especially in a car like mine. If you drive, like, say, a Honda Civic or Accord or even like a Chevy Malibu or something like that, something that is much more streamlined and much more air efficient, or not air efficient, I think the word I'm looking for is streamlined. And I'm not sure what Willis was doing here, don't ask. But I think he was doing a whole drive off into the sunset thing until he realized, oh wait, there's no things around here. Whoops. But oh well. Back to what I was saying. Shit. Damn it, I got sidetracked. I hate when that happens. Oh yeah, basically, in a large car such as mine, it's very, 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 very easy to get blown about. And I may even upload a video, like, I'll wait until it's a very, very windy day, and I'll just show you how much I have to turn my wheel just to keep it straight on a very, very windy day. And that requires a lot of focus, and it requires a lot of physically demanding activity. Well, actually, okay, yeah, turning a wheel isn't exactly physically demanding, but you have to do it quite a lot. So when you do it as much as you do it when you drive a Ford E150 or a Chevy something 1500, I know 1500 is a truck. Can't remember what the van is called, but it even affects, trucks and buses, and I give bus drivers a lot of props because buses are not easy to drive at all. Especially if it's like windy and stuff, you have to focus so much on the road and where your bus is going, because buses can turn very, very, very easily, especially if there's wind. And yeah, I don't know. I may upload a video on my main channel eventually, just showing you how much I turn the wheel on a very, very windy day. And now that I have a regular camera, you know, a digital camera, I have the power to do that. So I might do that later. But yeah, point is, wind is very, very subtle. Is a very, very subtle way at making you tired extremely fast. Like, it goes from a fairly in shape person such as myself and turns him into a very tired, fat individual very, very, very quickly. And as I reiterate again, I am by no means fat. I am large, but not fat. I don't know. Some people would call me fat. You know, these are the same people that are like, you know, British, and they're like 5'11" and like 110 pounds. But I'm talking about the American average here. American is slightly larger than Brits. That's not by no means a bad thing. That just means they're slightly healthier than us. And, you know, if they want to call me fat, I really don't give a shit. It's just by, you know, the American standards, which is how I follow, I am not fat, which is just fine. But anyway, the gameplay is nearing a close. I hope what I talked about was at least somewhat interesting. It's really the only thing I could think about in the past few times. This is why I like live commentary better. People don't really care about what I talk about as long as, you know, I'm entertaining, and generally I am pretty entertaining when I talk live. But yeah, sorry I haven't uploaded for a while. I was going to upload some Gears of War live commentary, but unfortunately I accidentally deleted it. So yeah, that's not going to happen. I'll probably do another one in a bit. So yeah, I went 25-13, or 24-13, I think it actually says. This was Wayont, 12 assists, 14 headshots.